Everyone, welcome back to another multiplayer battle. This is going to be the Tomb Kings versus High Elves. For my army, our front line is made up of in total 4 skeletal spearmen, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and then 2 Nehekar warriors. So it is not a very strong infantry main line because I knew I was going up against High Elves who have very strong infantry, so I didn't even really want to try and compete with them in that department, so I decided to put my money elsewhere, and that money went into a Necrotect, which is a unit that supports the constructs of the Tomb Kings. They come with a regen spell, 2 charges that can only work on constructs, and they have AoE buffs that work on constructs as well. So trying out the Necrotect. Speaking of the constructs, we have 2 of the Greatbow Ushapti, the Chosen of the Gods, and then a normal Greatbow back here. Another construct with the Necrosphinx, which is an anti-large armor piercer, kind of like the Tomb King's Shaggoth, basically, but I think even heavier armored. Not sure about their hit points, how that is, but they kind of do the same role. And then behind those, we have the Eye of the Desert, which is a stalking construct that is also anti-large armor piercing, but comes with 3 magical shots of poison armor piercing missile attacks that are split up into, it's like a shotgun blast, like a little mini shotgun blast. I think it's like 3 or 4 different missile attacks they shoot out, which is cool, and is really meant to kill large targets or like single entities. It doesn't really have any splash damage or anything, so they're not super effective at killing just, infantry, but still a neat little addition to the Stalker units. And this is the renowned version. Besides that, we have 3 additional, I believe they're considered constructs. Actually, maybe they're not. But we have 3 Carrion. So I brought 3 Carrion to try and keep the archers of the High Elves busy and or their siege engines busy if they brought any, because the Carrion are not big creatures, they are considered small, so even against the Lothern Sea Guard of the High Elves, they will not get any kind of large bonus if the Carrion fight them, because Carrion are small, they're not large. So the Carrion could be a pretty good tool to try and keep the Lothern Sea Guard busy, but there are no Lothern Sea Guard. For the High Elves, we have 1 Illyrian Reaver, 1 Archer in light armor, we have 3 Phoenix Guard, which is a good call. The main power of the Tomb Kings is definitely in their large constructs, so there are 3 anti-large Phoenix Guard, which are very scary, and then also a Swordmaster of Hoeth. We have a Noble as well, which is another anti-large armor piercer, 1 Chariot, a Mage of Life on a Chariot with the healing spells, and then Tyrion, who is a pretty powerful melee combatant. So against the High Elves, I think you're always going to need the Greatbow Ushapti units, because if the High Elves are going to fight the Tomb Kings, more than likely you are going to come across Phoenix Guard, and this is a perfect example. There are 3 of them in the enemy army. So the Greatbows, with their insane range and armor-piercing damage, especially the Chosen of the Gods, which they kind of break out into the shrapnel, they I think are critical, especially against the High Elves, who have such good anti-large infantry. So speaking of, we are going to send our 2 Greatbow units to try and weaken the Phoenix Guard as much as we can. I am going to get, oh, I forgot to say it, my leader is the Grand Hierophant Kateb. I think I kind of neglected to mention that. Yeah, we brought the Grand Hierophant on a horse. I did not choose to bring him on his, what is it called? Casket of Souls. But we are going to move him up, and he's going to do one of his Vortex spells over here on the Phoenix Guard. We're going to try and wipe them out first. That is the first target. And you can see here my Carrion Bird is going to go in here to just try and keep the Ithilmar Chariot busy. This one's going to be going after the Mage of Life to see if we can do any damage to this hero there. And the third one's going to be coming up. I think it's going to eventually go on the Archers, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong. Over here, we're going to be bringing the Skeletal Spearmen up and just trying to extend our lines a little bit to make sure that these Illyrian Reavers have to go extra distance around, and we're trying to keep everything off of our Greatbows. We're doing some good damage against the Phoenix Guard. The actual Vortex spell here didn't do too much, but that's mostly because the Phoenix Guard also have Regrowth popped on them right now, so they are resisting a lot of the damage from the Greatbows. Well, some damage from the Greatbows, and also the regen, which is pretty good. Over here, you can see that the Carrion Birds did not do super well against the Chariots, so I'm going to pull them out here because that is a battle they're not going to win. Over here, my Stalkers and then the Spearmen, I wanted to try and engage the Illyrian Reaver because they were not moving, so we're going to get a free charge here and do some good damage to their only 1 mobile unit. Well, I guess there's 2 mobile units here. And then we're just going to try and have our Nehekar Warriors and the Spearmen hold the Phoenix Guard for as long as they can, which is not going to be a super long time, but hopefully they buy enough time for our Greatbows to do a lot of damage. We have now shifted targets over here because there's 2 Phoenix Guard units clumped up right now, so I thought that was a perfect target for the shrapnel rounds of the Chosen of the Gods. We have Tyrion over here going around the sides and trying to get onto our Chosen of the Gods. But that is why I kept our Necrosphinx in reserve right over here, because they are supposed to clean up any large creature that gets near our Ushapti, and that's exactly what the Necrosphinx is going to be doing. And we're going to try and keep the Necrosphinx on Tyrion for as long as we can and try and keep these bows free. The Chariot here is going to go in the back and try and take out some of our Nehekara warriors. I can't remember what my carrion go on. Maybe the Chariot? I can't remember. This other Skeletal Spearman, since this one is about to crumble or start to crumble, we're just going to pull them in the back here and try and get some damage, as much damage as we can, on the rear of the Phoenix Guard. Meanwhile, the Necrosphinx is still chasing Tyrion. Not entirely sure why they stopped here. I'm guessing because they actually caught up to them, and then so their order was kind of like over. But Tyrion is going to start running away, and we're going to continue chasing him with the Necrosphinx. Meanwhile, over here, we did do a lot of good damage to the Iron Reaver, who is forced to withdraw over there. We have a Carrion Bird back here trying to just destroy the rest of the archers with light armor. And we are still just kind of chucking away at the 2 Phoenix Guard over here with our 2 Greatbows, who have already done a massive amount of damage. This damage has not been from the Spearmen, I assure you. I assure you. It is these Greatbows that are just sniping them all down. There are still a lot of Swordmasters left. The Noble is basically untouched. They still do have their Mage of Life untouched, and the Chariots are also doing really good. But the thing is, a lot of these units over here are doing exactly what I want them to do, and that is fight our Tar Pit units, which is going to be the Spearmen and the Nehekara warriors. We have these Stalkers in there just trying, and I believe, to get to the Mage of Life, but they can't really get through the Phoenix Guard that are there as well. So we're actually going to be pulling them over here to try and cut off Tyrion, who's still running away from the Necrosphinx. Over here, we do have the 2 Phoenix Guard did get through my Spearmen there, but that is okay because the Phoenix Guard have a movement speed of 32. The Ushabti have 54 movement speed. They are very fast monster creatures, so I'm just like, you know what, fine. We're just going to start moving backwards and kite the Phoenix Guard if that is what they want to do. Meanwhile, over here, one of our Nehekara warriors, I believe, is dead. The other one is closely following behind, so we're going to have to hold these up with the Necrotect. We got the Stalkers in here, and the Necrosphinx almost killing Tyrion at this point. Tyrion is a very powerful melee combatant, but against the Necrosphinx, which is geared to kill units like Tyrion, well, large units anyway, you can see that he is crumbling very fast. It does not help him that there are also Stalkers sitting there getting a lot of free hits on him too. So he is actually going to break, I think, here, and start retreating back this way. You can see that he tries to hop on the Grand Hierophant, but that is not going to be allowed because we have the Necrosphinx nearby. So he is now going to rout, but he will come back. Meanwhile, our Greatbow is still just firing on the Phoenix Guard, of which all of them are kind of crumped up around here, around our summoned Ushabti that we get because we have now tier 3 of whatever the heck this is called, Realm of Souls. So we have our free Ushabti keeping the Swordmasters and the Phoenix Guard busy. These Spearmen are going to assist against these Phoenix Guard, and we are going to start withdrawing again because we are getting charged by a Phoenix Guard and a Noble that is not on a horse. So we are faster than they are. Meanwhile, over here, the Illyrian Reavers are getting to the Grand Hierophant concept, but they are below 50% hit points, so they no longer have their buff as a High Elf. So they're going to be a little easier to deal with, and we're just going to try and take them out in melee. So over here, you can see that Tyrion did come back. I believe there was a heal spell brought on him as well. So I think he's going to go around this way, I believe. One of my last Spearmen are going to get crushed here by the Swordmaster Foeth and the Phoenix Guard, but they are keeping them busy, allowing time for us to withdraw, get better distance between us and the enemy, and they're going to start firing back in here. There goes the Vortex spell being dropped by our Grand Hierophant concept again, as our Stalkers and our basically untouched Necrosphinx, because I believe I have healed him. I think I've used both charges of the heal that comes with the Necrotech at this point. One on the Necrosphinx, and I think one on the Stalkers, so they are still basically topped off. Because I think it's like a 20... Hold on, let me just confirm here. I think it's like a 20-second heal. It's pretty good. Where are you? Yeah, 20 seconds of replenishing hit points. And again, 2 charges of that. As well as AoE buffs for Construct. So yeah, the Necro... And he's pretty cheap too. Or they are pretty cheap. So I think it's a pretty good hero. I really like the synergy between that hero and the Construct units that you bring. But anyway, we have a lot of good distance between us and the enemy. For whatever reason, this unit decided to move up, even though I was attacking the Phoenix Guard. I don't know, maybe they needed a better angle. I have no idea. But now you can see the Necrosphinx is just beating up on the Noble, even though they're not on a horse. They're considered small, but still the Necrosphinx is a very powerful melee combatant. Has really good melee attack, really good melee defense, and just very high damage. It is a brute. Again, it's just kind of like the Shaggoth for Chaos. Similar roles. Over here, we do have the Mage of Life trying to finish off the Grand Hierophant Kotep. I'm going to stick our Stalkers on her pretty soon here and start withdrawing the Grand Hierophant because the Grand Hierophant is not a melee combatant. Meanwhile, our Ushabti are still sniping up the Phoenix Guard because I feel like the Phoenix Guard is still a bigger threat than this Mage of Life is. At this point in the game, they probably spent most of their mana anyway, so I'm like, whatever. Also, wanted to get a nice shot off here, but a lot of the shots are actually going to be blocked by the hill, and I was like, because I'm sure if we got all those shots in the Mage, that would probably do a lot of really good damage, but oh well. The hill blocked a lot of it, so we're going to charge in there, try and finish off the mage with the stalker. Meanwhile, one of my carrying birds is still out here dealing with the archers, like this entire game almost. My carrying bird's just been killing these archers over and over and over again. And here we go. We have now done enough damage to the High Elf army that they are going to shatter and giving us the victory. So, good game to quiz Akabushi. It's a good idea to bring the Phoenix Guard, but they just couldn't get to our Ushapti to really stop them. They couldn't get on our Necrosphinx, which was doing so much damage. The Necrosphinx almost single-handedly took out Tyrion, took out the Noble, and then did random damage, I think, to a Chariot and maybe a couple of these units as well. So they did a lot of damage in that battle. And they had to sit there and kind of chew through the Tomb King's infantry line, which is basically just tar pits. Like, the Tomb King's infantry is just a tar pit there just to keep the enemy busy while your constructs do all the damage, and that is exactly what happened here. So, hope you enjoyed the Tomb King battle versus the High Elves, everybody. And let's go watch a cinematic view of the battle.
Moves!
Could you imagine getting hit by a Greatbow? Oh my god. Like, there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that. God. So the first Vortex is an ability that Grand Kotep has. That's the actual spell from the lore. That's why I like the Grand Hierophant, because he can have 2 Vortex spells, just go boop boop. You still need the Vortex spells to hit the targets. I love the way that the Phoenix Guard fight.
As it should. I command animals. Slay them all! Charge! Proceed! Attack! Onwards, minions! As Usas! Proceed! Legions, forward! Charge! Katev moves! Move! Fight! Forward! At once, I move. Proceed. Obey. Move.
Oh, what up, Tyrion? What up, Tyrion? Woo. Some big blades.
So be it. I agree. Fight!
I haven't really seen the Necrotech fight much.
Slay
Got a cool
them
little whip.
all.
I think they should be fighting here soon. Yeah, I think they fight this unit, don't they? Maybe not.
Forward! Move! Charge! Orders accepted.
Ooh, you didn't run fast enough, buddy.
Power of heavy! Forward! Attack! As it should.
What are you thinking, Noble? You have no chance.
Hothead moves! Animals!
I think this is them basically chain routing.
Forward! Legions! Forward!
Oh, maybe not. Where's the Necrotech at? Hold on. I really want to see their combat animations. Where are you at right now? Oh, you're down here. Oh, you're almost dead. Okay, that's why you're not combat.
Attack the living! Obey!
Yeah, they do use the whip. Confirmed. Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Animals! Slay them all!
And then that's it. Hope you enjoyed the Tomb. I think this is, yeah, my first Tomb King multiplayer battle here on YouTube. So there'll be many more to come. Tomb Kings are really good. Well, I think they're good. I think they're a solid faction. I don't think they're too strong. I don't think they're too weak. So I really like their balance currently in the game from what I've played so far. I think they're a really nice addition. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. Take care.